Tonight I'm talking about the LGBT Federation Northeast, and basically we just called ourselves the Fed. I was a member of the first directors team, volunteered for them for 16 years, and was the only Black lesbian director. The thing was to try, because the region is so enormous, and we're geographically spread out. One of the main things was to try and bring people together, because everybody was sort of isolated particularly in the rural areas, and they thought there might be no other LGBT people around except them. So it was important to try and make a safe space so that people could come together and support each other and think about what did they need, but also to get service providers to realize that there were LGBT people and that we needed different services. We would have like a regional gathering, and we managed to get funding for that, which was, the first one was at the Royal Station Hotel, and that was really good. I think it was the first time loads of us had got together, and we divided up into different groups. So the lesbians were in one group, the gays, the bisexuals, and the transgender people. And we talked about what our needs were, how we would like this organization to be, and whether it would be worth sort of traveling around and meeting in different areas. But people seem to think it would be better to everybody to meet probably in Newcastle, because Newcastle tended to be more LGBT friendly, partly because there were more of us here. Towards the end of when I was there was 500 plus individuals and organizations on the mailing list. So I think people shared their stories, and it was people from the community for the community. And we did try to always make our meetings accessible and friendly. So, like, for instance, we had a lot of deaf members, so we made sure that we did some BS, British Sign Language classes, and then at the beginning of every meeting we'd have 5 minutes of learning a few more signs, and also we would make sure that anybody who needed travel expenses, we pay them. But we also did things that made people happy. So like we had an annual ball, and that was open to LGBT people, but also to LGBT allies. And it was a really good success. It was always very friendly, and it was a chance for people to dance together, to show their emotions, to dress how they wanted to. It was a safe space. I think the main change was when there was a change of government, and then the priorities changed, and because we were a regional infrastructure organization, it was extremely difficult to get funding, because they broke up all the regional funders. So One Northeast got split up, Government Office Northeast got split up. Even the EHRC used to have, the human rights people used to have an office up here, and they used to have tons of people in it, and they were left with just one. So, and the priority became to fund local rather than regional, and projects rather than infrastructure. So then we had to change and bid for project work instead of having our focus on members' needs. But I think we still tried to stay within the values that the Fed had. But I think in terms of the Fed, having me, I think would encourage and did encourage other Black lesbians and gay men to join.